There is no clarity or final word yet from the Nigerian government regarding the news making the rounds that a 15% tariff or tax is set to be imposed on imported petrol products in early 2026. Petrol prices have climbed slightly upwards to above 900 naira per litre in recent weeks, even as the government dispelled news reports that a 5% fuel levy will hit the pumps also in early 2026. Let's chat to these, including plans by the Dangote Refinery to expand its 650,000 facility to 1.4 million barrels per day. My guests are here in the studios. It's Dan Kunle. He's an energy sector professional and a public policy analyst. It's great to have you again on the RS Exchange tonight.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Let's get the ground running in the manner of speaking. Talk to me, where are we on imported versus locally produced petrol products in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. The situation currently is like this. Importation is still going on, heavy dumping, but Dangote Refinery is equal to the task. He's producing and he's supplying locally and exporting at least reasonably. So this dumping, I think technically, I think the government, federal government of Nigeria, want to address that dumping technically. And that is by saying, look, this country must be protected. That is what is going on across the world. You put import duty of 15%, maybe from January or from March next year, then that will discourage import of petroleum product, because it's just not going to be acceptable anymore from January. But the fear in the marketplace, from the way I saw the consumers reacting today, and when you put a call to me that whether I can be available, luckily I didn't go to the refinery today, so I said yes, I will do that. The 15% will not does not need to create any panic in the marketplace at all. The consumers should not be worried.
Why would you say that?
Because Dangote Refinery will supply petroleum product at the price level he's doing now. I tell you on authority. He will not.
The refinery is in the economic zone.
Yeah.
And will that not expose it to that 15% fuel tax?
No. Whatever Dangote Refinery is supplying to the market in the next 3 months will remain stable price. I tell you. So these 15% should not make people to start saying, oh, government want to now take more money out of us. We are not. But in a way, again, by next year, if it is imposed, if it is effective,
if it goes into effect,
it is also to curtail our excess
import.
Our excess import, and also to curtail my movement. It's discipline. It's discipline. Why should we allow our country just to be a dumping ground? You just dump bad petrol, and then you think you can just get away with it like that. We must protect the refinery, refine locally. All the 30 licenses issued by government. It's time for the regulator to show us the list, the people who got the licenses, and what they are doing with the licenses. Are they just sitting on the licenses? Licenses supposed to have lifespan.
You mean those who got licenses for modular
refinery, whether mini refinery or main refinery? We need to see the list from the regulator. What is the regulator doing? We need to see the status of those licenses and see how many refineries are coming up in the next 1 year or 2 years. So that allows government to calculate.
You want that full exposure.
It has to be.
You have full disclosure.
Done. The midstream, downstream regulator must be up to the task. They cannot just keep us like this and say 30 people you just issue license, you don't even. Where is the work program? We need to see the project. Where are the project sites in Nigeria? So we will not wait for them. I think Dangote has done something that is phenomenal now. When they say sky is the limit, you can now see now he has gone beyond the sky.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
1.4 million.
We'll talk about that
we need this duty.
In a minute. Yeah. I'm looking at how to separate the fact from the fiction and the reality of this 15%. Where is it coming from, really? Do you have any idea?
It's from the fiscal regime authority and the analysis of the situation. You have to have a forecast table. And that is, I think, look, let me tell you, deregulation means a lot of things. Deregulation does not mean just one stroke of policy.
Oh.
That policy is going to jigsaw. Part of the jigsaw effect of this deregulation today is that import must also be checked. Every nation must protect herself because you cannot just open yourself. You import wealth, subsidize economy. All this import we are doing, somebody subsidized it somewhere. You are now importing it to suppress your own internal domestic economy. That is what is happening to our food sector now. We are importing rice, we are importing food into the country, wheat. Somebody subsidized it somewhere. We are importing it to kill our farmers. That is very bad. Our farmers now cannot earn. And all the agricultural inputs today in Nigeria, their price have not gone down. Fertilizer, insecticide, pesticides, and all the inputs have not gone down because they are dollar-driven. But you are dumping food. I know it may be a political strategy by government, but again, we have to talk, and they have to slow down on the importation of food.
Should Nigerians,
if not, the farmers will run away next year.
Should Nigerians expect petrol prices to go higher at the pumps in the run-up to the end of the year, holiday, and in the new year?
No, I say it with authority. Dangote Refinery will not increase price at all.
Prices recently went to 920, 930.
He has not adjusted his own price. It is the people who imported petrol that maybe are now tinkering with their prices because they want to survive. And the game is just beginning. So from January, February, we are going to see who is in the race. Actually, that's why we need inventorization and status report from the downstream, midstream regulatory authority to show us how many people are holding licenses, what have they done with those licenses, how many refineries are coming on stream, what's the volume that will come to the market. We want to see it. It is time for Africa to take their destiny in their hand.
So we've heard about Dangote looking to expand the 650,000 barrels per day to 1.4 million barrels per day. Why is that?
Because Dangote Refinery management and the chief driver of Dangote industry, Aliko Dangote, has looked at the map of hydrocarbon resources in Africa, and he has seen the extent to which African countries are in deficit of energy. See, every year you have African Energy Week in South Africa or somewhere else around the world. Have you seen any one African country that has taken a bold step to work towards energy security of his country? None. So only Nigeria, we are lucky. Dangote has done that for us. So he has now gone beyond the sky. Is now beyond the sky. He has broken all the gravity barriers. So moving to 1.4 million barrels per day, which is, if you tabulate it and you break down the quantity of crude that will be fed into that place, that's between $90 to $100 million per day that will go into the refinery every day with the effect of this. So that means he will supply local and he will supply international. Africa will now be energy secure from Nigeria. Nigeria will become the energy hub of Africa. So that in itself is to tell the other people holding the licenses to come out and show us what they are doing. So we need to see what they are doing so that we will now know that we are in the race.
Quite a number of African countries still import fuel from, like Russia, for example, Togo, a number of countries still do that in Africa. You think 1.4 million barrels per day that Dangote is looking to expand would be able to fill all the needs for 1.2 billion people on the continent?
We have the quantitative mapping of import in East Africa region and the Central Africa region and South Africa region development area.
Yes.
And we have West Africa. So we did not put our attention on Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco. We didn't put much because they are facing the Mediterranean. They can look after themselves. But the entire sub-Saharan Africa, we have the mapping, we have the numbers. So we know exactly all the deficits in Angola, in Namibia, in Botswana, in Zimbabwe, in Zambia, in Malawi, in Mozambique. We have it. Even South Africa. So if you refine 1.4 million barrels per day, he will meet the market. So we just need, the template is to give all those zones, you must have logistic base in all those zones. So the trigger of this type of refinery is that you are going to increase maritime economy because it's shipping. You are going to also increase maybe railway transportation and pipeline and depot in those regions.
So there's still a lot of infrastructure.
There's a lot of infrastructure and investment
They'll have to go behind that.
this Nigeria, the hub, will create for Africa economy. That is when we can be talking
because
about
doing 1.4
security.
million barrels per day, Dangote will have to think of how to transport them
Exactly.
out of Nigeria.
Yes, just the maritime and freight aspect alone, you can imagine
With
what
the
it
logistics
means.
part of it.
The logistics. So the country should jubilate. We should jubilate and we should encourage some people to go into cotton. Some people should go into rice. Some people should go into something else. In fact, the petrochemical component alone, because the yield you are going to get from the linear alkaline benzene, the yield you are going to get will now be a big input to the petrochemical industry.
My final point, just to begin to wrap up, is your outlook on Nigeria's petrol supply, demand, and pricing metrics. How do you think that will work moving forward? We're looking at about 9.20, 9.30 per litre.
It will still be below 1,000. From Dangote Refinery, it will still be below 1,000. I cannot talk of NNPC retail. I can't talk of the others. But it will still be below. Because Naira is going to firm up. Naira will not escalate above 1,400. So by that means the average unit cost per litre from the refinery will still be reasonable enough for PMS to sell below 1,000 Naira. As far as I know of the Dangote Refinery. All right. So except if other external forces out of our control.
Crude prices are holding around $60 per barrel as we speak. So it's fine. So
okay. Thank you very much.
We should see Nigerians want to be confident that let's go into the end of the year, the festive season and the new year. There is no need to panic about
we should encourage the president to go all the way to complete,
Mr. President
Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to go all the way to complete this deregulation. Because deregulation is not just one item. It's multiple ripple effects, yes.
Okay. I'm sure Mr. President and his men are listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
we appreciate your insights as always from the latest developments in the oil and gas sector. Have a pleasant evening. Dan Kunle, an energy sector consultant.